The voice behind the silence, Zita, was a girl of very few words. In a school full of noise, laughter, drama, and competition, she moved like a quiet breeze, barely noticed, barely heard. She never interrupted, never raised her hand in class, and never argued, even when her classmates made fun of her, and they often did. Zita. She doesn't even talk. She's like a statue with a backpack. Maybe she's scared of her own voice. Their words were cruel, but Zita never seemed to mind. She would just smile gently or lower her gaze. No anger, no tears, no complaints. Even her teachers often overlooked her, thinking she was just shy and nothing more. But what no one knew, not her classmates, not her teachers, not even her best friend, was that Zita had a secret. She had a voice, not just an ordinary voice, a golden voice, a voice that could move hearts and silence rooms. But only her family had ever heard it, her parents and her two younger brothers, who would sit in awe every time she sang at home. "Your voice is a gift, Zita," her mother would say. "One day people will hear it and never forget it," her father often added. But Zita would only smile, shy as always. She didn't believe the world outside her family could accept her, much less praise her. The school competition. It was the beginning of a new school term, and excitement buzzed through the hallways when the school principal made an announcement. "This year, our school has been invited to the National Inter-School Singing Competition. The winning school will receive a trophy, media coverage, and a financial grant for their music program." Students cheered. The music teacher began auditions the very next day. Many confident students signed up. Some had sung in church choirs, others in school plays. Some just wanted the fame. One by one, they performed, filling the room with pop songs, rap verses, and even folk tunes. But something was missing. Though a few students sang decently, none had the special spark, the emotion, the uniqueness, the soul. After 3 days of auditions, the school was worried. "How can we compete like this?" one teacher asked. "We'll be embarrassed," another whispered. The principal frowned. "We need something different. Something memorable. A voice in the shadows." That afternoon, Zita quietly approached the music teacher after class. Her heart was pounding. "Sir," she said in a soft voice, "I would like to try." The teacher stared at her, confused. "Zita, you want to audition for the singing competition?" She nodded. The music teacher hesitated. "Well, all right, let's hear what you've got." Zita stepped forward, closed her eyes, and began to sing. The room changed. Her voice was soft at first, like a whisper. Then it soared, clear, strong, rich with emotion. The lyrics she chose told a story of hope, strength, and finding your voice. It was as if every word came from her soul. The teacher stood frozen. By the end of the song, his eyes were wide and his mouth slightly open. "Zita, where have you been hiding this voice?" he whispered. She smiled, blushing. News spread fast. The quiet girl, the mute statue, was going to represent the school. At first, students laughed until they heard her sing. Then everything changed. The competition day. On the day of the competition, Zita stood backstage, dressed in a simple white gown. Her hands were trembling. She looked out at the large crowd. Judges, parents, students from other schools, cameras and flashing lights. Doubt crept into her heart. What if I mess up? What if they laugh? What if I don't belong here? Then she remembered her mother's words. Your voice is a gift. The world needs to hear it. Taking a deep breath, Zita stepped onto the stage. The spotlight found her. The room fell silent. She began to sing, and with every note, the silence deepened. Not because she was quiet, but because her voice was powerful. The kind of powerful that reaches into people's hearts and stays there. People stopped breathing. Some wiped away tears. Even the judges leaned forward in their seats. When she finished, there was a beat of silence. Then thunderous applause. Zita had done it. The aftermath, Zita's school won first place. The trophy was brought back with pride. Photos of Zita were posted on the school walls, their website, and even on local news pages. Students who had once laughed at her now clapped when she passed by. Teachers invited her to lead music sessions. Younger students looked up to her as a role model, but Zita remained the same, quiet, humble, and kind. She still didn't speak much, but when she sang, the world listened. Moral lesson: never underestimate someone because they are quiet. Sometimes the strongest voices are hidden in silence. Everyone has a gift, and sometimes the ones who are overlooked are the ones who shine the brightest when given the chance.